I'm Larry Hochman.
I'm Judith Clurman.
Would you please tell me about your project, your new CD?
Well, Celebrating the American Spirit is a project I worked on for 10 years. It all began when I had conducted the Juilliard Choral Union at the Firehouse on West 68th Street and Amsterdam Avenue after 9/11, and I had the chorus sing America the Beautiful for the firemen. And I was conducting a big chorus, and suddenly I stopped, and the firemen came over to me and put their head on my shoulder, and we all started crying together. And I remember going home and telling my husband that I wanted to do a great recording of Americana. And by the way, it's going to be wonderful to bring a copy of this recording to the Firehouse this week, and I hope it will offer them some comfort. Commissioned 12 friends to write words on presidential texts, and I had a performance celebrating the presidency at the Library of Congress right before the 2004 election. Fast forward to 2011, and those pieces were recorded for broadcast on National Public Radio, and we were on for the entire month of February celebrating the American presidency. And then I said, oh my goodness, I have to do something with this music and add more music, and voila, I decided to make a CD.
How did you get involved in the project?
Well, Judy met me because of both of us have a connection to Marvin Hamlish, and at one point Marvin recommended me to Judy for not even this project, but we've become fast friends since then. Judy called me first because I'm an arranger. It just so happens that I had an amazing experience having to do with the patriotic theme because, and Judy didn't even know this at the time, was that my daughter, when she was 8 years old, had written a song using the words of the Pledge of Allegiance and setting it to music. Again, Judy had no idea about this, and but when she was gathering possible material for the CD, I said, well, you should also hear this song. And it happens that this is this year was, well, we like to think of it as the 10th anniversary of the premiere. This is Laurie Hochman's Pledge of Allegiance. It was premiered with Keith Lockhart and the Boston Pops when she was 8 years old, and it was the first July 4th telecast after 9/11. So this was July 2002.
And you gave me that recording, and I went, oh my goodness, I remember.
So a lot of things just tied together.
Right, but I also, when I got to know Larry, I realized Larry's just not an arranger and orchestrator. Larry's a wonderful composer. He gave me the score and a recording of a piece that he wrote that was premiered in Berlin, I believe, a Holocaust piece. And I went, oh my goodness, he really knows how to write music too. This was really very exciting. And we were just taken with one another, and I remember the New York Pops asked me about putting a Hanukkah piece together, and I said, oh, I have the perfect arranger, and it was Larry Hochman, and our musical marriage happened really over that piece of music, I would think. It was pretty amazing, right? He gave me a CD of some music you had written for television shows or radio or something?
Yeah, this is actually for a production library, some people call it stock music. So the Carlin Recorded Music Library, I had already done, in '96 I did a 4-album set of about 60 original compositions, all in various patriotic styles, some homages to Copeland or Bernstein, and some just orchestral pieces, and this one, which was
I listened, right?
called American Ballad, and
right.
Judy said, "This is great. We should have somebody write a lyric to this." And I said, "Well, there are my two favorite lyricists, my daughter Laurie Hochman, and also Sheldon Harnick." And
right,
you actually,
and I said, "That's it. We're going to get Sheldon." I thought of Sheldon Harnick, and voila, we have Sheldon Harnick on the CD.
Yeah.
One of the songs that stood out for me was It's Lonely in the White House. How did that come in? Because it's different from anything else.
That's right, simple. When I was putting together this program on the presidency for the Library of Congress in 2004, I spent a lot of time researching material at the Library of Congress. And I looked at the Irving Berlin boxes because I knew he had written a musical called Mr. President. and I never forgot that piece. It got, what is it? It Gets Lonely at the White House. And I thought that would be really appropriate as one of the bookends for the cycle on the CD, as well as Leonard Bernstein's Take Care of This House. So I have Kelly O'Hara doing Take Care of This House, and I have Ron Raines singing It Gets Lonely in the White House.
I think that song sounds like it could have been written yesterday. It's
so
apropos.
One of the songs that stood out for me was It's Lonely in the White House. How did that come in? Because it's different from anything else.
That's right, simple. When I was putting together this program on the presidency for the Library of Congress in 2004, I spent a lot of time researching material at the Library of Congress. And I looked at the Irving Berlin boxes because I knew he had written a musical called Mr. President. And I never forgot that piece. It got, what is it? It Gets Lonely at the White House. And I thought that would be really appropriate as one of the bookends for the cycle on the CD, as well as Leonard Bernstein's Take Care of This House. So I have Kelly O'Hara doing Take Care of This House, and I have Ron Raines singing It Gets Lonely in the White House.
I think that song sounds like it could have been written yesterday. It's
so
apropos. I mean, you think Irving Berlin, someone that wrote in the 20s and 30s, and if you didn't know it was he that wrote the song, you'd think somebody yesterday was doing some sort of satire or just.
Now you have two stars on the CD.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get them involved?
I know them both, and I wrote Kelly an email and I said, hey, would you like to sing God Bless America and on my CD? And she said, sure. And I then said, how about the Leonard Bernstein piece? And she said, sure. I have a great story about Ron Raines and I. We go back together as students at the Aspen Music Festival. I was trained as a singer, and we were in a vocal chamber music class together. We caught up with one another about 4 years ago, and I needed a baritone for the CD, and here he is. He's a wonderful, wonderful singer and artist, and the other thing that's fun about both of them is I believe they both are graduates of Oklahoma City University.
Coincidentally, Ron and I were on the same. When we met, it was the first time I was working for the Boston Pops on their Richard Rodgers Festival, which was just before the whole connection with Laurie's piece.
Speaking of Laurie's piece, I'd like to say one of the things that I'm very proud of on the CD is it represents music of 18-year-olds all the way through 85-year-olds. And that's what the Sing Out Mr. President's about. The youngest composer was 18, Milton Babbitt was 85, I believe, when he wrote it. All different sorts of styles. And I'm very, very excited to have Laurie's piece on here because she did write that melody when she was 8 years old. It's a true representation of America because you hear different musical styles, but you also hear different age composers.
Kelly O'Hara sings God Bless America,
Yes.
which is quite different than it's been heard before.
Right.
Did you direct her that way, or she came up with that interpretation? It's a very moving.
No, when I put the CD together, you asked me about Larry Hochman. I believe in putting a family together of collaborators. I said, hey Larry, this would be really nice. Let the guy sing some parts. Let it go back and forth, right?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of a dialogue, make various types of colors with the instruments and voices. But then it's in his hands, and I have to leave him alone. You made God Bless America come alive in a very, very different way. And it was really moving to be in the sessions because the chorus got really moved by this because there were varied colors happening.
And but I'll also say that because Kelly had performed it with orchestras in whatever arrangement she uses, she also with the interpretation, especially in the verse part, we even adapted a little bit the way she was phrasing, the way she was putting it across. So I think although she didn't put the notes on the page, I mean, we actually changed the piano part a little bit on the spot, and I think there's, had it not been her doing it, it also would have come out different. So I think differently. So I think there's several influences.
I counted 16 presents you have on
16
it.
presidents. The original cycle at the Library of Congress was presidents who were no longer alive because we could not insult anybody. As the cycle developed, we added presidents who are still living and our most current presidents, Democrats and Republicans. I asked my son to help me select the words originally. And when the president speaks the inaugural address, those words are in public domain. These are our words, and we could use any words that they speak while they're in office.
And you have Bush, of course, and Obama, which is...
We have Bush and we have Obama and
Right.
we have Clinton.
Clinton, yeah.
There is nothing wrong with America that could not be cured by what is right with America. Those are I think my favorite words. We're encouraging people to purchase the CD, or I am, because the notes in the CD are really very scholarly and fabulous, written by Carol Oja.
Will there be a follow-up to this album?
First of all, if I could make a few CDs just about the American presidency, because if you go to the Library of Congress, they house so many pieces that were written for the various inaugurations. There are so many wonderful campaign songs. There are so many wonderful American hymns. There's more music from Irving Berlin's Mr. President. And I could just go on. And oh yes, we can't forget Guthrie's This Land Is Your Land. And we cannot forget the Star Spangled Banner. And it would be fun to record that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to thee, O Zion, your and so I've reason to be thankful. It gets lonely in the White House when you've been attacked by the loyal opposition getting in the